Here is the prototype, the Suzuki prototype.
Oh, here we go. It's a fairly recent photo because it didn't used to have that much traction in my days. How long ago was that taken?
Well, this year.
Yeah. Where was this? Was this at?
Coda.
Okay. Did Charles ever give you a disc of those photos?
Charles.
Charles Statman.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, remember I sent you a disc and it got broken in the mail, so I made another one and I went over and met you at the nursing home or whatever. And Charles was there and he said he was going to take it and make a copy for himself and give you a copy. So hopefully he gave you a copy.
And what was the picture of?
Pictures of you. Pictures that I took when I was here the previous year.
Oh.
Pictures that I
I
took.
don't know if I ever saw them or not.
Well,
It's going to be a CD. You have a CD somewhere. Remember the CD that I sent you that got broken in the mail? Did you ever get a replacement for that? That's the main thing.
Well, John, you got to understand that I got a Charles took some pictures. I can't get my mind organized around it. I heard a program about interstitial cystitis,
Mm-hmm.
and it was by a doctor who was retiring, and he was talking about, for 50 minutes or something, he talked about how to deal with pain, especially organ pain. And Joyce, the woman I thought I might marry, a classmate of mine, whose birthday was 2 days after mine. So my friend John Caius lives up in Dallas, and I asked him if he would tune in that program which comes on at 6 o'clock Saturday mornings. I asked him if he would record that and send me a CD. And he did, and it got broken in the mail.
Oh, that's not good.
And then he sent me a second one, and he sent me the little plug-in thing. And so I sent that up to Joyce in Stephenville, and so she gave it to her doctor, and he said he was putting it on his CD player in his car, although he bought a house right across the street from the hospital, so he could just walk to work. But when he was driving his car, he would turn it on and listen, trial in there, listen to the lecture, interstitial cystitis. Okay.
so did that make any difference?
I don't think,
You don't think it
I'll have
worked?
to check with Charles to see if he ever gave you one. Did he ever?
wait a minute, John. Here's the one that's that kid that was in the backpack.
Okay. Oh, he's grown up now.
And that's me. And that's Joseph, the guy who rescued me.
Okay.
And there's my birthday kid.
And how old were you?
Over at the pub.
How old were you again?
This was a month or two ago.
Okay, that was your 81st.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you're looking pretty good there.
July the 19th was my birthday, and that's when that was. Well, I thought you'd be more interested in the roarer, but what I was trying to tell you was they'd never tell you in that article why they called it the roarer.
I mean, hey, motorcycles roar. You're looking for a snazzy name.
Well,
that's a start.
It's got straight pipes coming, exhaust pipes. So I guess that would make it a roarer.
Or you can make a foam exhaust would do that too.
But look at all these details.
I see a lot of that. Those are fairly decent engineering drawings.
Yeah. Filling all the mechanical stuff.
So what's the history of the whole thing? How well did they
That
do?
was 30, well,
Did they build a
that
lot
was
of
30, no. They didn't build but about 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 39 when the war started.
And that was it.
And then at the end of the war, you know, everything was bombed out, and they,
What country is this? Is this in England?
yeah,
Okay.
and they, see that pipe?
Yeah.
Straight pipe. And then they found some parts somehow and made what they couldn't find.
So they built a couple of them.
Just one,
After the war, then maybe you made.
just one. They found some parts.
Well, there ought to be a nice story behind that.
Well, it's
So-
all right here.
Somebody could research it, the roar, return of the roar.
Well,
The research special. I can look at it.
classic racers. Fascinating account of the 39 supercharged racing bus set.
So where did you get that? Where did you come across that?
Well, I don't remember.
Some people just bring you that stuff.
Since this is not part of a magazine,
It looked like a brochure someone has put out. Classic racers.
they never sold more than about 50 Velocets in the whole US.
50 Velocets?
Yes.
Gotta be more than that. Golly.
No,
I've heard more about it.
there were only 7 in Texas.
I can believe that, maybe.
And then they came out with a 500 Scrambler. Oh, a guy came by to show me, what did they call it? They made one model of a 500cc with conventional suspension, and what did they call it? Wasn't Viscount, but it was. He came, parked his bike from my garage on Truth Street.
Oh, that's right. You used to live on Truth Street. How long did you live there?
Until 80 when we moved over here.
That's right.
He's
Now I
lived here
remember
since
where
the
it was.
80s?
Yeah, he's been here about.
My mother died and left me the property in Stephenville and $25,000 in checking account. And I used that as a down payment on this house. Now, I could not find it. I looked and looked and looked, went through all my stuff, and I finally found it.
What have you got?
John and Jamie, his wife, got,
Go under the refrigerator? You need some help?
yeah,
What got into the
I don't know, something, a refrigerator back there or something fell off and went under. Is that what it is, a refrigerator back
yeah, it's a magnet. I'll get it later, it's laid under.
there? Just back then, you could stick something in there and snag it.
Anyway, I want to show you the picture.
You could use a paper clip in fact.
That's their marriage. They honeymooned
Oh, my goodness.
on the tandem that we just looked at.
Okay. That's so
And
nice.
they had beer cans tied to the back of it.
Oh, shit.
And they're mounting up and she's dying laughing. And he's trying to hold his mouth right. And I finally took it down. I didn't remember that it was part of the calendar. That they had it printed with the calendar in 2011 when they were married.
Oh, they were
what?
married in 2011?
What's your son up to these days? I haven't heard much from him.
He will never return my calls.
Ah. Do you know where he is?
He called me today, finally.
Okay.
And what they did, Roger Edwards, her stepfather, furnished the pickup. They came by. I tried to inflate the tires myself with air compressor, but I couldn't hold the stem to keep it from
Yeah.
going down. Well, I pushed the air chuck on. Didn't have the strength. So John did that part. They loaded it up. This was at Green Pastures. You know Green Pastures?
I don't know where that is. I mean, I haven't been to Austin
Well,
for 45
anybody,
years.
Travis Heights and Green Pastures is south of the river, I guess. And it's sort of north of Bee Caves Road.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's where they were married. That's where they wanted to take pictures on the tandem. And they put that poor little baby between the handlebars on that bike. And I said, that's going to ruin the gear shift adjustment and brake adjustments
Yeah.
and all that.
Having the baby there?
Yeah,
That's where all the
there's no
mechanisms
seat.
Oh, there's
So
no
it's
seat.
in a carrier. And the
Oh,
all the
carrier is
mechanism is-
balanced between the,
so it's
Yeah,
gonna,
that's
not gonna be good.
So they had their honeymoon on the two-seater.
yeah.
How far did they go on it? But and you can't go very
I
far.
don't think they got out of the lot.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
And they wanted to reproduce the joke on this little baby's 2-month birthday or something.
Not a good
Oh.
idea, I think.
So I saw Charles in Austin when he was here, and I haven't seen him or heard from him since. What's he up to? Where did he go?
He lives in San Jose.
Okay, so he went back to California.
Guess what that is? Do you remember when they did parade laps at the Aquafest
I remember that.
before there was a vintage class?
Is that a,
3 laps.
yeah. In fact, I have some photos of some of those.
You know what that is?
No, what is that one?
That's about a 1920 something Douglas.
Okay. Yeah, they did have some vintage
Water
bikes.
cooled two-stroke. And I think it may be horizontal post. And maybe shaft drive. But pretty light as two-strokes to be.
I've got some photos. I got some with a sidecar is apparently a German bike.
Yes, there was a,
And the guys dressed up in Nazi uniforms
Yes.
is going around riding the sidecar and giving
Yes.
the Nazi salute.
yes, that's the event.
I've got some of those photos if you want any of them.
Why would that be an event? What kind of event
It
was
was the
that?
Aqua Festival. We had the road race down there. You
Why
know
would-
where we just were?
Yeah, but why would somebody wear a Nazi hat?
Because he had this German World War II German motor sidecar outfit.
It was a pucka.
Joke? It was
That's
sort
a
of
joke,
a
right?
They
It's a
really drove those things. The Army did.
Yeah,
Mm.
German Army did.
Yeah. I gotta do some paperwork about my surgery. I'm gonna have the cataracts.
Okay. You shouldn't have need any glasses anymore after that.
No, that's not
I don't
true.
think that's true.
I had one of them done, and they do it's just a distance one, so I don't have the close up. I had to get correction on that.
Well, as I understand, it's gonna change the glasses. They want me to bring my glasses. But
They're going to put an artificial lens in your eye. Is that right?
Well, yeah, that's what I got, John. That's what they do when you do cataract surgery.
But the guy that recommended it is a retinal specialist.
Uh-huh.
He does retinas. But he's sending me over to a guy that does cataracts first.
Okay.
And then will come the retina if I still can't see well. This eye is nearly gone. The other one's much better. When I try to watch TV,
Sit down.
I breathe better still. Uh, what was I going to say?
Talking about your retina.
Oh yeah. When I look at two guys in profile in the movies, talking, facing each other, and talking, especially the tireder I get, I see four,
Yeah.
Mm.
a duplicate.
Well, you're not,
Two
fusing,
eyes
you're not
with-
fusing the two images. And I'm not too sure that's correctable with the eyeball. It's all neurological, fusing the two images. Of course, the eyes have to be aligned before you can do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand much about the eyes.
Well, I've got the issue. The right eye never did develop neurologically. The image processing in the brain didn't develop because the eye was not aligned with the left eye. So all my vision developed in the left eye, and the right eye is sharp, but the image doesn't process. I can see the image, but you know I'm still trying to make out what it is I'm looking at there. A lot of it is the brain. The image produced by the retina is a pretty poor image always. It's got portions covered with
I've seen the
veins
scans.
and whatever, and got a blind spot in it. The brain washes all that out and constructs an image,
Yeah.
a useful image out of all of that.
Well, let me tell you some more. I hate to bore you. Family history. This is all on my mother's side of the family. but my mother lost 2 sets of twins, boy and a girl both times,
It was before you?
before I came. So then I was number 5, and then my brother came along, and he was apparently perfectly normal. I've got a big picture down there, but it's basically this one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was following my example. He's 5 years younger than me. I guess he's a year and a half, 2 years there. Maybe just a year old. Anyway, one eye looks slightly closed more than the other.
Okay. Do you have the same kind of problem, or did you have the same kind of problem?
I'm getting to the problems of all the kids. So me and my cousin Jane are the only 2 quasi-normal kids. Jane is okay, and I'm okay. Martha, Jane's little sister, had Down syndrome. It was obvious. You could look at her if you know what Down syndrome looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Gretchen, my daughter, the story about all of this, and she corrected me. She said, one of my mother's sisters had one child that we used to say had mongoloidism. And Gretchen told me that it was the same, it was both Down syndrome.
Yep.
I said, well, Gretchen, I don't think I have any. I think I have somewhere one picture of my cousin Pete. He was the so-called Mongoloid, and he looked as Chinese as you could ever see. He was tall and thin and had a cleft palate. Couldn't pronounce his R's and L's. And he was sort of an idiot savant in mechanics, and my uncle, who was an electrician, turned over to him the job of cleaning and re-oiling and working on all the oscillating fans in the house. And he could do that perfectly. He could also remember, he liked to use everybody's full name. Uncle's name was Alvin Post, and his middle name was Harvey. And he used to say, call him Alvin Harvey. Only he couldn't say. Couldn't pronounce the L's and R's right, but knew the name. And he called Mama Bertha May, her full name. Anyway.
But they don't live very long either, do they? Normally, they don't.
Right. Well, Pete was put in at the Austin State Hospital and died there. He wasn't there long. Martha died, the Down syndrome, died probably. She was put in Abilene where my brother was.
So how old was she, in her 20s, or
No,
didn't make it to 20s? In her teens.
in her teens I was.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're saying this child died early too? This child you're showing?
No. He died Thanksgiving. That caused a bunch of trouble. We got a new Republican judge, county court at law judge in Erath County. And he was going to make a big name for himself. he was going through all the old paperwork. And I had to get myself, when my mother died, the court wanted me guardian for my brother. But it didn't change anything. He was out here at Austin State School. And
Now, did he have Down syndrome or he had some kind of,
epilepsy,
oh, he had epilepsy, but that should,
grand mal seizures.
but they didn't have any way to control that.
Well, they if they keep you doped up enough, you stop having
Yeah,
seizures.
But I thought there was a
But
way
the
to-
brain was already gone.
Oh, yeah, you have enough of them, it destroys the brain. So that's what happened to him?
Yes.
I see, okay.
So, in 2012, he died Thanksgiving. And so then this new judge sends me a nasty letter saying he sees that I'd not been discharging the duties of my guardianship since 2012. And what was the problem? And he's trying to get, the case was in Erath County Court, even though John had lived 15 years here in the state school here. And I got into a big fight with hospice because they were denying him water. And I knew he was dying. And the hospice lady said, "You gotta just let him die."
Water.
And what wouldn't give him water?
Oh, that's terrible.
And I said, "That's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, yeah.
I demand that you have water sitting there." Because he had a regular nurse that was on call since they knew he was on his way out. And
Well, that's terrible. I mean, he's going to go, he's going to go.
that's what I said. So at 4 o'clock, having been there all night and morning, and John having a turkey dinner over there on 47th and Red River, and I said, "Well, if y'all aren't going to listen to reason, I'm starving to death, and I'm tired, and I'm going to go eat Thanksgiving dinner." And I left. And he died while I was
Eating
eating
dinner.
turkey.
But he was that close to being.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's kind of like making him suffer, isn't it?
And that's why I hadn't filled out any more reports since 2012, because there was nothing to report since he had died.
And then, but the judge didn't know that he had died?
No,
Oh.
not initially.
Okay.
And I never got to talk to the judge, but I was dealing with the county clerk and the county court at law's clerk. I'd gotten to know the county clerk. She had moved over to just handling estates at the county court at law.
Could she help you out there with getting?
She did.
Okay.
She was wonderful to me, but it took several weeks to get that all
And that's all
resolved.
you need to do in your poor health is to deal with some irate judge that's unreasonable, about somebody that's already died.
And he claimed that
In fact, it sounded like if you hadn't been there and yelled, I don't know, did they give him the water that you'd asked for?
I was giving it to him, trying to give it to him.
And they were trying to get you not to do it? Oh.
Yeah.
And you certainly don't want to go over there, do you? You wouldn't
No.
send anybody over
Where's
there.
this located? Just over there on Guadalupe?
It's that's the state hospital. The state supported living center is out off of 35th Street,
Okay.
West 35th.
God.
Oh.
Well, we're going to have to get going pretty soon anyway, Jim.
Well, no,
Let's
well,
go.
let me
Are you
stop
gonna finish
this
your row?
thing.
Well, I was going to show you.
What have you got?
Here's a picture of my brother
Oh,
and me.
I'm gonna stop
on tape.
here.
ah, very same bicycle. And when was that photo taken? How long ago was that?
Well, that's probably when he was in his 20s.
You know, you've got such a collection of motorcycle and bicycle memorabilia.
And here's all your stuff now.
This is, I'll put my camera in there.
I have your notepad in my purse. So, what is your prognosis for your health? Do you feel like you're going to hang in there for a few more years, or what do you think?
Well,
We'll come back and see you.
No,
but
wait a
only-
minute. I wanted to hear what
only
you
if
have
you're
to
still here. Okay.
So tell me how you think you're doing.
Well, pretty bad. I just spent $4,500 on portable,
Oh boy.
rechargeable
Oh, is it air? Is it an air thing or
air
something?
concentrator.
Well, did
Oxygen.
you put the thing in there?
Yeah. Then I got one in yonder beside my
But
bed.
this is where you can travel. But you don't have to use it all the time, or it's just when you feel like you're having. It's just you can tell when you need to do it.
They
Is that
wanted
what-
me to sleep with it on, but I can't
It's
keep
just
the
uncomfortable.
thing. I've never been able to sleep on my back.
Oh, okay.
I
And you
need
can't
to-
sleep on your side or anything. You have to sleep on your back. Yeah, I don't sleep on my back either. That'd be hard for me. I just feels odd.
I try to get in the fetal position.
Yeah, that's how I sleep on my side.
So,
Well, do you have somebody checking in on you periodically, or?
well, I did for a while, just when I first came home from the hospital. I had a lady coming in, but Cynthia had the same thing. John's mother, she had MS. And so she had and I visited her a few times when she had her own health care person. And they just sit there running the computers and they don't pay any attention to it.
So you pay them and they do nothing for you. You're saying if they come in unless you really.
They're just there in case you need them.
Oh,
And I took Cynthia some food and some ice cream and some wine. And we had dinner over there. And the guy was in the living room just clicking away on the computer. And,
wow, what the heck? Getting paid for it.
and they get paid handsomely, I
Yeah,
would
they
say.
do. I bet they do.
More,
So maybe you
more
did-
than I was making an hour when I was still working.
So you don't really have anybody checking in on you right now.
Yeah.
Is that right?
My Joseph, the guy that called 911 when
Okay.
I was passed out on the floor.
How often does he check in on
Well, I have my skin is so thin.
Oh my goodness! What is that? It's like wow. What is that? Is that a psoriasis thing or?
I can reach for something in a drawer, and if I drag this, I fell down one night. Let me show you what I was trying to do was go from my reclining chair probably into the stone. AC work better. Yeah, I don't.
I think those things are. I think those are
I
scans.
agree.
Well, maybe John ought to call you once a week or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, I can do that, or
I
do you
can't
answer,
get him
do
to
you
even
answer your
return my
email?
call.
He doesn't. You mean he doesn't return your calls?
Do you answer your email?
He doesn't answer mine.
But I mean,
If I send you an email
Yes.
every day, would you respond?
Yeah, if I miss one day,
All right.
I'll get it
Well, I could do that.
next day. That's Cynthia and John.
Oh, what did this thing do?
Did you figure
Is that your ex-wife or?
Yes, one that died.
Oh, okay.
And that's John who's in the backpack in that
How
picture.
cute.
And
So where is he now, John? And you're saying that's your son, John?
he's in that picture.
Okay. Well, I didn't see the picture, but you did. Okay. Well, you probably need to have somebody check on you, and
Well, I can
we're not
send
very close.
I can
but-
send an email, and if I don't, I can ping you, and if I don't hear, if I don't hear back,
I don't know what he is.
I send you a note, and I expect an echo to come back.
Barbara,
Yes.
there he is
Oh, right here.
on my birthday.
Oh, okay. So you just this is
That's
a
in the
birthday.
photo.
I see. Okay, so this is this is your birthday you just had. There you
Yeah.
go. So and he's the one that lives out in California.
No,
Oh.
That's Charles.
Oh, this is your son here.
No,
No, which one is your son? That's your son.
he's 43. And he just had a baby. He and his wife, who is now, he was born in February.
Is that your first grandson? First grandchild?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were into where do they live nearby here? Or
47th and Red River.
Does he come by and make sure you're okay? He does not. Why? He should.
Not unless I call. And then I get, hello, treasured family, remember?
Oh, like you get voicemail.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's not good. So they don't live
And
that.
that's when they were married.
Oh, she's cute. Yeah, she's cute.
She's from East Texas. Tyler and Longview.
So he
Charles
waited a
is
long
from
time to get
Longview.
married, huh? He waited till late to get
Yeah.
married.
She's, I don't know how old she is. She's younger than he, but I think she's in her late 30s. And I found out belatedly that I knew that she had trouble getting pregnant, and they kept saying that she had miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage,
Mm-hmm.
about 3 times.
Before they
were-
finally had the baby. Yeah.
They were freezing eggs and freezing sperm,
So did she have in vitro fertilization type? Is
that
that
kind of stuff.
okay? So
She
that's
finally got pregnant, finally had the baby,
Okay.
but Gretchen said those were
difficult. Yeah.
abortions.
Yeah.
They were Down syndrome.
Oh, they were.
That's what Gretchen said.
Well, then you don't want those. But
But
this one,
finally they got a ringer that was okay.
so the baby looks like the baby's okay.
Yeah.
Well,